And now,
Hire Away with Collins Harlan.
Welcome to Hire Away. Hire Away is a show where we talk about jobs, we talk about businesses, and more importantly, we talk to the people that are operating those businesses and doing those jobs, people with skin in the game. I'm Collins. I'm a staffing specialist with Labor Finders, and we have two branches here in St. Louis to serve you, one in North County, one in South County, but all over the country. If you're looking for work, all you have to do is go to laborfinders.com. That's laborfinders.com. Find the branch nearest you, call us up, and we're going to help you out. Today on the show, we're honored to have Mr. David Wilson. And David is an entrepreneur. He has a very successful podcast. It's a fantastic show called Ring of Hire. And we're going to talk to David about, well, many things really, but for people who are looking for work, he's got some ideas, some tips and tricks for you to leverage social media to get out in front of people, to beat the odds, and to get callbacks and interviews. So enough of me talking about it. Let's just talk to David. Let's do this.
Hire Away.
David Wilson.
How you doing, Collins?
I'm honored. That's how I'm doing. I can't believe you're on. This is great.
Thanks a lot, man. When you called, like I said before, I was like, wow, I've known you, and we talked back, like I said, during the COVID years.
Yep.
You know, and then when you reached back out, I saw you doing a podcast, and I was like, I want to thank you for having me on.
Well, you had me on, and that podcast of yours, Ring of Hire, is amazing. Love that podcast.
I love it.
You've done a lot with it. I want to kind of get the people to know you. You're an Army veteran, right?
Yes.
That's fantastic.
Military family, everything. I was in the Army, brothers, Navy, Air Force, Marines, all of us.
Fantastic. Thank you for your service.
Oh, thank you.
Very welcome. Now, how did you go from that and into staffing?
You know, I went to, after I got in the military, went to manufacturing. You know, you don't know what to do when you get out. And I wanted to get out of there, and I saw an ad for Kelly Services. And I was like, oh, production, you know, I mean, I'm for a staffing person at Johnson & Johnson. And I was like, I didn't even know what it was really. It was a management thing. And I got there, and here I was in charge of the staffing. And, you know, back then it was a little bit different. I mean, they trained me, and I was a Kelly girl. I always say, hey, I was a Kelly girl at one point. You know, spent 2 years, and
aren't you cute?
My dream job just went out the door for some reason. It did. And, then I started with Staff Mark and all the other, you know, Manpower, and spent time with them.
Well, you must have learned a lot because you became an entrepreneur.
Yeah. I did it for about 2.5 years. I opened up Results Staff, opened it up, hired 2 girls, had the office, you know, Collins, and then 1 month later, COVID hit.
Oh,
yeah, it was you know what though? I'm over that. I lasted about 2.5 years, and I went out, you know, but the only thing I could say is, wow, that I friggin' learned from staffing on how to do a startup and what I would have done differently now. You know, You always want to jump back into that, and you've been staffing so long, you missed it. You know, you wanted to get back into it, then I'm like, I had to jump back into the corporate world, so back into staffing myself.
Well, it's been said that staffing gets into your blood, you know.
Yeah, it does, and I got that high volume, so I'm like, that's why I lose my hair all the time with high volume staffing. You know what that's like.
Yeah, I'm looking. Maybe you have lost. Anyway, I'm just kidding. So you look good.
Thanks.
So now you're with a company called Worldwide Flight Services.
We staff for all like Amazon Primes at the airport. You know, we handle all their planes, and I staff for 550 employees that I take care of. So I have to keep that head count up at like 550 to 560. You know, and bring the airplanes in, they unload them, and warehousing, and also I love still doing the podcast, and I help out a lot of people finding work. I get in front of this laptop and I get home, and it's like LinkedIn is my big thing, and you know, I just love it. I love staffing.
And I want to talk about what I feel you can bring to the table, especially tonight, is if anybody's listening who is looking for work, or somebody in staffing that is looking to find candidates or improve their sales, even HR people, you know, I feel like you bring a lot to the table, and you have a lot of tips and ideas that you think outside the box. And I want to talk about that. So,
yeah, you know, Con, I hear it all the time on LinkedIn, and I'm always the one that likes that challenge. You know, well, I can't find a job. I'm not doing this. I've sent out 500 resumes. You know, I'm sorry. If I lost my job today, right today, if I lost my job, I would tell everybody, you know, some staffing companies have a bad rap, some of them. It's like a staffing company. But the last out of 5 jobs in my career, in my life, and I'm 60, I'll say it, but 3 of those jobs came from a staffing company direct hire. So if I was to lose my job today, I would Google the top 5 staffing companies around, which I know I love Robert Half. I like what they do around here, all professional jobs. But my point is, I would go there and I would apply to all 5 staffing companies. I want to tell them what I want, what I'm looking for. Direct hire. Don't call me for temp to perm, nothing like that. My salary, and let them do the work for you also. So now you've got 5 people behind you that are working for you. Because remember, yourself, like direct hires, let's face it, staffing companies love direct hires. You're talking 10, 15, 20% sometimes of the salaries.
Yep. And that money goes right to the bottom line. Yeah.
They are motivated, and you got to get out there to the first thing. That's what I would do, is I would hit those staffing companies, because again, that's what they do. They have a huge pool of clients, and you can make that decision. This way, the staffing company does not call you every week, say, hey, I got a job for $15 or $20. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So utilize the strengths in that, for one of the things I would recommend for people.
That's a really good bit of advice there, because you do hear that a lot. There's people all the time on social media talking about what you just said. Yeah. I filled out 500 resumes. Yep. I haven't gotten a bite. You have to think outside the box. Yep. Give yourself an advantage. Make people, people can work for you. These staffing companies are motivated to do that.
Yeah.
So put them to work,
Yeah. When I was with Results My Own, I was like, forklift drivers, I did a different type of model. I was like, come on over, boy. I vetted them. Direct hire for forklift drivers, I had told you, just as basic as that. And who would ever thought stuff like that? But staffing companies are getting more creative. You have to get creative, or you're just not going to win. I always say that you're not going to win.
Well, let's actually talk about the word you just used, creative. Can you kind of go into that a little bit? What does creative mean to you?
To me, I'm going to give you an example, about LinkedIn. Okay. LinkedIn, one of the big subjects all the time is that green banner. Should we have that green banner? No.
I have to interrupt you here. Yep. For the people who don't know, that's the open to work banner, correct?
Right.
Okay.
Right. Open to work. Yep. Yeah. So you put that on there, and some people will say, that's desperate and all that. And I'm like, no, it's not. First of all, it's LinkedIn. So if they have a service for you and they created that, it's there for a reason. They want you to use it. And a lot of people don't realize, and I'm going to give you an example. When you pay $35,000 for LinkedIn Recruiter for your company, you get 5 seats for like about $35,000, but you can post as much as you want. You're not paying that by boost. So by doing that, when I'm going to search for a project manager in Allentown, Pennsylvania. Type it in, right? You might come up with 100, 200 people. You're going to whoa. Then you're going to filter it. There's where people don't realize, when you put that open to work banner, you're going to put open to work. And let me tell you, that's where I start to smile, because now that 100 drops down to about 30.
And then it's manageable, and you're going to call them, and you're not wasting your time.
But you're not wasting your time. So anybody out there listening, just put it up there. Don't listen to other people. And again, LinkedIn has it there for a reason. So anytime LinkedIn comes out with a new feature, I'm on it. I'm like, if they want to do a carousel up on top, I'll do that. I don't care, because they put it there for a reason and they want you to use it. So, use that open to work, to your advantage. And, I tell people, every time someone loses their job, or, you got laid off or let go, now everybody wants to work on your LinkedIn profile. Oh, I've never done it in a while. You got to keep up with that. You got to keep up with, at least, keep your jobs up to date on there, your nice picture, everything that you hear about all the time. You don't really have to pay services. Everybody says, well, they want to charge you, to do your profile. You don't have to do that. Just look at other people's. I looked at yours. I get ideas from everybody. I'm like, oh, I like that. I want to put that on there, because those keywords are important on LinkedIn, and just get that up there. You don't have to stay that active, but at least as a worker, yourself. If you're hiring somebody, I've looked at social media pages to see what you're doing, see how that person is. And if I went on yours is perfect. So, I mean, boom, you got everything on that you're supposed to have. And I just tell people, you got to work LinkedIn the right way.
Hmm. So talking about filtering and keywords,
Right.
It seems to me that's even more important now in the age of AI. Wouldn't you say?
It is. And when I always say to that is 7 years ago when I started the show, I was talking about AI then.
Mm-hmm.
I was putting up, people can scroll back there. You'll see it, boy. I used to use the robots, the ones you're using now, and say, I'm coming for you. I love chat bots. I love all that stuff because with keywords, it's just like your ATS systems and even on LinkedIn, you got to have those keywords within your resume. That's the most important, and utilize AI as a tool.
Mm-hmm.
I always say I use it as a tool. I don't try to do everything with AI. You can tell somebody that does AI. You can tell, the way it's written on their post.
Yeah.
But use it to upload that resume, and just put in there, say, hey, add this software like ADP, any kind of software at your work. Think about it. Write that stuff down because a lot of people don't have it on their profile. So when recruiters do searches, I'm going to search for SAP experience. Well, guess what? They pop up because you have it in there. But if you don't have it in there, you're not going to get it.
Yeah. And AI, my daughter had great success with it. She did what you're advising and she got the job. But more importantly, it popped up, in a stack of resumes that are being submitted.
Well,
you don't have
this, and you can't look. You've seen yourself. Do you realize when somebody puts a remote job up on there, it says 500, already 1,000, 2,000? Think about it.
Mm-hmm.
How do you compete with that?
Right.
As a recruiter, you're in it. I can't come in on Monday morning. I'm like, whoa, 500 to 1,000 resumes.
Here's how I compete with that. I send the hiring manager $1,000.
Yeah, there you go.
I attach that. And I'm like, hey, just pick me.
Right. I love it. Yeah, pick me for 1,000.
Yeah.
But we've talked about that. You gotta stand out. You can't just listen. Those quick applies and all that stuff. You are not going to hear from all that stuff. When you go to a remote job, and even you put any kind of job now on LinkedIn, I've seen a lot of them. You click apply if you want to do it that way. You have to definitely go to their website. Definitely go, because some companies don't have a LinkedIn profile, as much as like that. But click on that, fill it out on there. They even say on some of the applications, they show people that's the hiring manager. So I tell people all the time, tag them in a post.
Yeah.
They're like, for what? Well, let them see you.
Yeah.
What are they going to do? Think about it, Collins. What are they going to do?
Right.
Are they going to say, why did you put my name? They're professionals.
And they're busy.
I mean, tag the hell out of them. Put their names on there. Put them and reach out to them. Everybody's like, well, what if I don't want to send a message. Connect with them. Well, maybe they won't connect. Listen, out of 10 people to 15 I try to connect with each day, I might get 2 or 3. But those 2 or 3 that want to know me, put a note on it. Send your note. A lot of people don't do that. Send a note. Hey, hey, Collins, my name's Dave Wilson, and I live in Lehigh Valley. I'm really looking for a project manager job. Do you know anybody within your company? Because a lot of people say, well, they're not that. Message any of them, and put on there. Do you know the right way who I can reach out to? And listen, yourself. I bet you answer messages all the time like I do. Help them. Sure, here you go. Where's your resume? I'll forward it on. That's all you can do.
That's a good point. It's networking, really. Yep. But it's networking that increases your odds.
Right.
In a real way.
I mean, when you do that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I tell people, take a ride out again. A lot of people when you go on Indeed, listen, a lot of those companies, those top companies are always on that first couple pages. You're not going to compete with them. We can't compete with like FedEx, Amazon. Listen, they got thousands and thousands of money that they're putting on there. But if you drive around, I always tell people, go for some of the medium-sized to smaller companies. Pull into these parking lots that have all these businesses, right? Take a day. Take a break. Go out, drive around, stop. Just write the company's names down. That's it. Just write them down. Come back with a list of 50 of them. That is when you go on your LinkedIn. That is when you go on the company website and go after those companies, because those companies can't afford a lot of that money. For example, my friend's hiring an HVAC technician to install, right? I did it for him tonight. We shared it. 80 to 100,000 for an HVAC installer. They don't have the super amount of money to put into Indeed. I mean, $600 to $1,000 a month for that company is a lot.
Right.
So, but think about that. That's a small company that nobody even knows about because they're not on Indeed.
Again, strategy, thinking outside the box.
Yep.
Very smart. Incredibly
That's
smart.
what I do all the time.
Yep. So that's an interesting point too. I mean, there are big companies, there's mom and pops, everything in the middle. If you take the time to think that through and create a strategy, you can use LinkedIn and other social media platforms to really do well.
You do. And you utilize AI. Listen, again, that openai.com, any kind of chat, anything like that. If you're not good at writing, you can use it, then change it up a little bit. So they know that you're not just using AI, because you'll get called out on it. Like my emails. Some of these, I would never send some of my emails that create them like this, but I'm like, all right, let me bring it down a little bit, and that's more like Dave, but even for sales on LinkedIn, or there, put yourself a video out there, like a 1-minute video, put a nice background on and say, hey, my name's Dave Wilson. I'm looking for a project manager job, Allentown. I've got this much experience. I'm really looking for this type of work. Can you please reach out to me if you have anything? Boom, post that baby. And that's when I told you, look at those companies, go to the comments section and put at Pepsi, at Amazon. When you put at Amazon's one of the number one search. So always do that. But what my point there is, don't be afraid to do that.
Yeah.
Some people go, I don't like the way I look. Oh, come on, dress up.
Put a little effort into it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. But get creative, and you're going to be the one that succeeds on it. I'm telling you, I see it all the time.
Speaking of hashtags, you had mentioned Amazon as being the number one. Right. How would a person go in and find out which hashtags are trending over others?
I utilize the best way to use. I utilize AI now, and I don't because I've tried everything. I don't care. When LinkedIn, I am so good at LinkedIn. I always say that I've tried those 15, 20 hashtags. Yeah. I've tried 50 of them. I filled up the comment sections with 100 of them. It does absolutely nothing. You put the top 5 to 7 or 8 hashtags. That is it within your industry. Because the more you think you get it out there, you're not getting it out there. Because go to AI, top 5, top 7, top 10, and go from there. And I'm telling you, you'll see if you on LinkedIn, you're going to see your posts, you're going to see the views. And that's what you want to look for. You want to look at your insights. You look at those insights on LinkedIn. A lot of people don't even know what they are. Look at it, because you're going to see what companies looked at you. You're going to see it right there. You got to pay the $234 for the career subscription a year. Yeah. But that's so worth it if you're a job. Listen, $234 to find a good job. You tell me, yes or no?
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
See,
I've been giving out $1,000 to HR people. So
I know, right? Just there.
Sounds like
I even told you that. Listen, if you got it right, I told this one guy, I couldn't believe it. I said, hey, write 10 letters, just letters, right? And cover letter, right? Stick your resume in there, put to the company, because everybody knows the address. Attention HR. When people get that out of your work, you know where that goes? HR, because they think they need to use it. But that is old school, and that's how you also can stand out from others. I tell everybody, just do it. The worst they're going to do is what? Throw it out.
Yep.
You're never going to know.
And in the process, they're going to see your branding at least. What the heck?
And put an Amazon gift card in there, like you said.
There you go. For $1,000.
Wow. For $1,000. Oh my God. Oh my God. I would laugh at that. Holy God. Whew.
So some of the other things that I'd like to talk about with you, you're pretty, with your podcast, Ring of Hire, you've done some pretty innovative work there.
Yes.
And rather than me try to list all the things you've done, I'd rather just turn it over to you and let you talk about some of the different things you've tried over the years with that podcast that have worked.
And when I first I love to dress in black. My son's name is Cash because I love Johnny Cash, and always black. And I sing it, I DJ with it and everything like that. So then my one friend says, Dave, you should call LinkedIn Live came out, and it took me like 6 months to get it. But my friends, like his girlfriend said, the Ring of Hire. I'm like, well, kind of weird, but then it's staffing. I thought about it, the Ring of Hire. So then when they type in Ring of Fire and they put that wrong letter, guess who always comes up? It's really right. Johnny Cash, Ring of Fire.
You should dress in black for that podcast.
Yeah, the main goal of that, what I wanted to use is I love helping people, Cons, and I know you would too. You would help people, anybody in staffing, because I get it all the time. Dave, I'm desperate. You see people. So what I do is I reach out to them, and I want to have them come on and do a live interview. Anybody's listening now, reach out to Cons, anybody, get a hold of me. I would love to have you on my podcast for 30 to 45 minutes. And we're going to do a live interview on LinkedIn Live, and it's going to go out to all the other platforms live and on Spotify, everything. Put them on there and get them to know you, right? Get that person, because I don't ask the obvious, the harder questions when you're,
you don't want to,
I'm not going to do it like that, but everything's a conversation. And on video, if you look sharp, you got that great background behind you, asking the questions. I've gotten out of 38 shows for that, I've gotten 8 people jobs by just somebody watching that.
Wow.
8 out of 38 shows. So
that's wonderful.
That's if they do their homework. Yeah, if they do their homework afterwards and tag the hell out of those companies, like I told you, tag it, hashtag it. I don't care. And it works. But don't, everybody, it's hard to get guests for that. I'm telling you. It's been 8 weeks since I've almost even had one.
It kind of surprises me because it's such a good idea.
Man, I wish there were more people would reach out to me. I love helping people for free.
Well,
but that was going to be my direct hire, though. That was going to be my direct hire with results.
That's right.
Reach out to me. But seriously, video, again, people, I don't look good. I don't, you know what? That's excuses.
You have to stretch too. Excuse me. People need to realize, especially if they're looking for a job,
right?
It's not a choice. Dress up, go for it, and employ as many methods as you can to get in front of as many people as you can, of the right people.
Yeah, the right people.
So I'm starting to see your strategy here. You're leveraging social media and you're helping people that are looking for work.
Right.
You invite them on your show, and then they have to follow up afterwards and tag the living, you know what, out of all these companies.
If they don't do it, I can't help them.
And it works. It works,
yeah.
What was the number again? 8 out of how many?
8 out of 38 shows. Out of 38 shows, I got 8 people jobs from just them doing the show for 45 minutes of their life.
Yeah.
To within a week, they had 2 to 3. Some of them had 2 to 3 interviews because I told them, go back, write all your top companies you want to work for. Then not just look at the name of the company, but look for a couple people on there. I don't care what you put, just anybody.
Right.
And tag 20 of them. What is the worst, Colin, that's going to happen there?
Exactly.
You're going to get an interview or somebody's going to reach out to you. And they really enjoyed. Like I had a project manager. She was friggin' top notch, probably 150 to 185, and she really loved it. And she thanked afterwards. She didn't get a job from me, but boy, did that build her confidence. She was like, I'm on fire now, and she was just doing the things that I said about on LinkedIn. Tag the hell out of people. They're not going to say nothing.
That's great. And sometimes that's all people need in that situation. It's just a little help, a little push, and then you get their confidence going and they're off to the races.
Oh, and they love you. They'll do anything. And there again, that's that network. Because I always say the good that we can do is going to come back.
Yeah.
Because I already said, Collins, if I lost my job, I'm going to go live and I'm not going to get off until I get a job.
We're going to have the 24-hour telecast until you get hired.
You know what, though? In all seriousness, those are the kind of crazy things and people like it.
Yep.
No, don't be bashful, but jump out and try something different.
Well, and it certainly highlights your willingness to, to be aggressive and assertive.
Right.
And that's what people want, If you can't stand up for yourself, that's not good, So there's some other things that you've done with your show with regards to your own team.
Right.
You were telling me.
What you want to do is, listen, a lot of companies, LinkedIn, think about it. LinkedIn, look how many people watch or on LinkedIn, right? My show, I would love to have, right? You have your team, 3, 4, 5 recruiters everywhere. Because when you do the streaming, it costs me $800 a year for the software. Okay. You can have up to 6 to 7 people on there. Have your team of recruiters throughout the states on that show, baby. And when you advertise it, you promote that link, put a little money behind it. If you want to do something for like that, right? Put a little money behind it, a couple $100, that's all. Then you have everybody on, you talk about all your job openings. Can you imagine right at prime time, 7, 8, 9 in the morning, and then promoting the show like you do here? When you promote it, get it out there first, then like how you put us for the 10th. Everybody's anticipating that. Put that in there. Oh, I'll tell you what, you
Yeah.
got it.
That is
and
such a,
you're going to talk. Everybody said, I don't want to be on video. I'm a little shy. Just get on there.
yeah.
Again, good background, look sharp, talk about your jobs, but have fun too. Show the real side. Because if you screw up, you know yourself. If I mess up, I just try to laugh it off.
Absolutely. That's
it.
Be self-effacing, you know? People
But it
like
gets
that.
your company out there. Hey, listen, Colin, I even tell staffing companies, I posted numerous, and you saw them. I'll take your staffing company. Come on my show. Right? Let's talk about your jobs. Bring a recruiter with you. It's all free.
No, wait. Let me
have a hard time.
I was going to say, but let me just interject there.
Yeah.
If I'm a company, if I'm at the head of a company and I see one of my employees bringing on the competition,
Right.
I might feel a little funny about that. Did you ever get any pushback on that?
No, you know what? I hear the pushback I only get on my show is it's too long. That's somebody else like it's too long. I'm like, I don't care if it goes an hour and 10. If people are talking and making comments, and the other person, we just keep talking because we could probably talk here and easy for an hour and a half.
Sure.
The way I tell everybody is just like this. Listen, if you don't want to watch the whole thing, don't. But what happens is when you go live like that, it just keeps opening up like there's 28,000 I have on followers on LinkedIn. So it just keeps going out. It might take a little bit to get it. Ain't gonna get all, but it's gonna get, if it can get to 1,000 or 2,000, the longer you stay live, you know, and then you know when it's over. You can tell. I always can tell when I get off there. But I get pushbacks on some things that I say. You know, some people may not like it, and they'll tell me.
No, I mean, but having like the competition. Let's say you work for this company now. Let's say you have a competitor on, because you said you bring other staffing companies on.
Yeah.
How do you does your company ever push back on this? Saying, like, hey, Dave, why are you having competitors on and giving them airtime?
No, they're great with that. They know it. And I, as a professional, on there, it's always, I know my boundaries. I know my boundaries. Do I do it in the Lehigh Valley? No, not in the Lehigh Valley. I wouldn't do that to my company in Lehigh Valley. It would just, that's a conflict of interest as it is anyway.
So you're respectful of those boundaries, right?
Oh yeah, I have to, because I don't want, why would I'm trying to find people, you know, and I'll be like, they'll be up for another company. Hey, come on down over here. No. In a different state.
Totally
I'm
safe. Yeah.
It's all at it.
That makes sense.
Do I stay at like certain job titles that I'm looking for? No, I know better, you know, but there's so many different job titles, but they're very good. They all love it. You know, everybody says they love the show and they've watched it. I just try to stay professional, and I really, really enjoy helping people, and it don't even cost nothing.
Well, I think that's great. And backing up a little bit, the idea of putting your regional team on a live broadcast to talk about their jobs, have fun, and do that maybe somewhat routinely. What would you recommend? Like once a quarter?
Oh, every 2 weeks,
every 2 weeks. Yeah.
Yeah. Once or twice a month, even something like that, because you want to build that anticipation. Because if you know, like you talked about it, trying to do something like that, if you can bring people on, think about how other companies would look at you for what you're doing.
It's a power move for sure.
Oh my God, it's a big power move. And then, because everywhere on LinkedIn, everybody's from everywhere. They connected. You're connected to everywhere. And if you're smart on LinkedIn, I go after now my audience. I know my audience, so I try to connect with people. I don't just do everybody to get those high numbers. It doesn't matter, because they're not going to listen. Staffing is not the most exciting show, you know, all the time. Staffing. I mean, come on. Yeah. But people need jobs. So that's what I try to keep everything towards the job people. Like, you know, all the recruiters, I try to connect with recruiters, at least 10 to 15 a week. Easy, you know, and that's getting to know the audience. But boy, other companies look at that, and they've reached out, and they can't believe how some people don't get me to do that. And I said, well, I can't lead them.
It's a power move, man. And then I'm thinking also that when you do that with your team, they should not just talk about their jobs, but they should perhaps talk about some candidates.
Yes.
Because that's going out to such a wide audience, you know,
it is.
And it just builds credibility with your company.
It does. And if you're a professional, again, but show the real you too. It's nothing wrong with, if people are afraid of that, I tell them all the time, it's okay to make a mistake, laugh about it. You know, I do that all the time. I've done it a couple of weeks ago. I did a show and I had to yawn. And I was waiting for the countdown, and I'm like, oh my God, please God, I don't want to yawn. I don't want to yawn. And sure enough, the last 5 seconds, guess what I did? I yawned. I didn't watch the show afterwards. I was so embarrassed. I was like, it's live. It's live. So
you can't do anything about it. You can't edit it out.
No, it just came on to me, and I was like, that was the most funniest thing that happened in a while.
Well, what you're doing must be working, because one of the other things that's happening with your podcast is you're getting sponsors. Like people are paying to be on your podcast.
I just picked up the United States Army.
I don't know if you can hear this through the mic, but that's amazing.
I told Colin, all I did was walk into the recruiting center in Allentown. I said, hey, would you like to be on my podcast, The Recruiters? They're like looking at me kind of crazy.
Yeah.
They're like, what? 2 weeks later, liaison, this lady, Sarah, called, and Dave, they like to try it. I had 2 crew recruiters on for 1 hour.
Mm-hmm.
There was rules. I didn't have comments and stuff like that, but we interviewed from the time you start in the military till the end. It went great. She showed it to all these company commanders. Now I'm in 4 states. They want to do 4 different states, and I just booked 4 more shows. 2 times a month, 3 with the best recruiters in the industry of the military.
Oh wow!
And I'm going to be interviewing them, and now they just told me today, Collins, that they want me to do one in Kentucky, and I'll tell you when it's on. I'm going to have live people, young men from basic training that just graduated.
That's going to be
with
a
the
great
recruiters
show.
are going to have. They said, "Can we put them on?" I said, I'll send them to you.
Please send me a message when that's going to happen.
Yeah.
Oh, that's going to be a great show. Yeah.
But it took a lot of years. But again, I tell people, like my background, I'm so proud when I started to put up little things in my awards and my everything about the military, in sales, people, hey, thank you for the service. I'm like, all right, put it on my email.
Yeah.
And before you know it, all my awards, everything I saved, again, nice background, talk about yourself, be professional, and it'll come to you.
And that's obviously a great account to have, and it means something. It's meaningful,
Yep. I'm excited for it. I mean, they were late. I lost it for 2 months because of the furlough.
Oh, that's right. The government shutdown.
I just got it, the momentum going, and then it was over. And I was like, oh, but I'll tell you what, that day that lady, she got back, Sarah got back. Dave, we're back. I'm like, that was exciting.
I'm excited for you.
Well, I told her about a contract. We talked about later on about when all the money starts. But I'm hoping it goes that route, pretty good. And I said, I don't even know how to do a government contract. She goes, David, I will show you everything and tell you what to do. I said, that's all I'm talking about.
That's because you're bringing value.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, just myself,
Yeah. Well, you've done really well with your straightforward, honest, sincere approach.
Yep.
But let's not take away from what I call genius. You're a bit of a genius.
Thanks. I love it.
I knew you'd downplay that, but with your podcast, you're willing to help a lot of people. You have on your LinkedIn page, I think, right? You have a list of ways to get involved in different levels, where you'll have people on. They can purchase packages.
Just like the Olympics. Like a staffing company, anybody wants to put up there. You put the banner right up on top. Figure it out. Put that right above when you were doing a show. It'd be right on top. You talk to the customer. You give them two shows a month. Mm-hmm. I mean, come on, free included in that. Mm-hmm. Two shows to have your team. Have them on. Where else can you do that? And then they think about that's a way of getting your brand out. Because I'll tell you what, I'm going to work hard for that. Because I want them to succeed.
Right.
I want them to know. Listen, wow, man, I went on this little podcast and bam. Mm-hmm. But again, you get those right people, your audience. You just, like you said, put it all together. It just starts to come together. It took a lot of years, but it just comes right together. And before you know it, you'll have more people reaching out to you. Hey, can you help this person? Can you help this? Other staffing companies coming on. The mom and pop shops that are small, like you said.
Yeah.
What a way to get their name out on LinkedIn, because I love mom and pop staffing companies because they can do a lot of different things than somebody like a regular corporate. You know what I mean there.
They can pivot quickly. They don't have all the red tape.
And they'll really work with you. And if you get, 10 direct hires, come on.
Yeah.
Come on. It's just way to go. But the packages on the website, they can choose. And, I work with them. I'll work with a budget, everything like that,
What's the best way? Because I've got a whole sheet of there's a whole list of things I'd love to talk more about.
Oh, I know, right?
We're not getting to that. And we're running out of time.
I know, right?
But I think we've covered a lot of ground. What's the best way for somebody to get a hold of you, David?
Just go right to LinkedIn, David Wilson, right on LinkedIn. Right on there, you'll see it. The Ring of Hire Show. They can even just go on LinkedIn. I have a business page too, the Ring of Hire Show.
Oh, gotcha.
They can go right on that just as easier because everybody says, oh, nobody goes to them. That's not true. I'm up to 1,000 people on mine.
Again, you have proof.
Again, well, it says invite. You get 35, 50 invites. Invite people. Out of 25, guess what? 10 will.
Right.
And now you got 10 people. So I'm over 1,000 some, but it's not as great as the personal one, but it works.
Just go to LinkedIn, type in David Wilson, and look for Dave's receding hairline. You'll see it.
Yeah, right there. And you got it. You can be, that's that freaking guy that talks about with the staff. But no, I really appreciate it.
Only joking. And Dave, you're an inspiration because our podcast, I think this is episode 13 or 12 or something. Yeah, so we're just getting started.
Nice.
So hearing from somebody like you, it's just such an honor, and I learned so much from you.
Thanks a lot, Collins, for having me. I really appreciate it.
Appreciate it. Talk to you again.
Thanks. Thank you, sir.
What a great guest, David Wilson. Thanks again for coming on. Just so honored to have him on. I've known him for a little bit. He had me on his show during COVID, and he's just such a wealth of knowledge. And like I said, he's an entrepreneur. He thinks like an entrepreneur, thinks outside the box. So thanks for watching this show. Stay tuned for the job of the week, of course. But next week, Tuesday at 10, we're going to have a guest by the name of Jake West, and he's a representative with the Sheet Metal Union here in St. Louis. So that's going to be really interesting, and we're going to have a really good talk with him about quite a few things, actually. But thanks for watching. Share us on social media, and we'll see you Tuesday at 10.
Hire away with Collins Harlan.